PR Connections Radio presents. This episode of The Professionals is brought to you by Classy Communications PR and Advertising. Classy Communications provides public relations and marketing solutions for businesses, professionals, and nonprofit organizations. They can deliver the true meaning of your business with press releases, social media marketing, web development, email marketing, book publishing, and much more. Wherever your potential clients are, they can help you connect with them. Visit classycommunications.net to learn more about their suite of services that can help your business stand out from the rest. Classy Communications is your solution for business success.
Hello, and my name is Penny Tyndall, and I am the local Summerlin publisher of Desert Foothills Living. I will be hosting this podcast called The Professionals on the first and third Wednesday of every month. Join me as I interview local business owners, community leaders, and nonprofits and hear their story on how they thrive in Las Vegas, what's up in Las Vegas, and just some friendly conversation. So join me on the podcast, The Professionals. Penny Tyndall, thanks again. Have a great day. Hello. This is Penny Tyndall here at PR Connections Radio, and I am the host of the podcast called The Professionals, where I meet with local business owners and nonprofits and entrepreneurs. So welcome my guests. I have two wonderful women from Metro Design, Brandilyn and Kirsten. Hopefully I said that right this time. I practiced. I am super pleased to empower women businesses. And so I'm going to take this time for Brandilyn for you to start out and tell us how Metro Designs came about.
So I actually started Metro Designs in 2006. Excuse me. I used it kind of as my platform to do freelance graphic design work at the time. And ever since then, it's kind of expanded and grown throughout the years. I'm going to be celebrating 25 years next year, which is unbelievable. And it's been a road, I guess. I've had, I think, 4 different logos at this point, 5 different websites. I mean, 25 years is a long time. And then this year, I actually brought Kirsten in as a partner and actually working with you too, Penny, and several other people who are also involved, kind of building a network of a number of good people with good ethics that want the best for others who are aligned with our values.
Right. Like-minded people looking to build community here in Las Vegas and the surrounding area. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Kirsten actually brings in the character because I'm just like the computer nerd. So she helps to get me a little bit amped up on things, and we kind of bounce off each other to make the entire situation kind of funny most of the time.
Yes, I have seen your videos, and they're very entertaining. They're lighthearted and fun. And for a business owner, it is so important to be out there doing digital marketing. Me as a local publisher, of course, I do print publication, and you are my content coordinator, my guru that comes out and creates incredible stories about my cover families. And a lot of businesses don't realize how important digital marketing is and how it is so important to be consistent. So yes, I'm consistent with the publication, but you're out there giving their business life, right? Personality. So why don't you go ahead and show us, kind of tell us how digital marketing, why you stepped into the plate. I mean, 25 years ago, that's incredible. So go ahead and give us a little bit more background information.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't want to spend my life working for someone else. That's really been like the core of it. And not only that, and actually we're in a place with marketing it's pretty unique and pretty awesome. And it's it's a lot more aligned with what I had envisioned from the start, because people are tired of being sold to. People are tired of the fake. They're tired of the celebrityism. They're tired of all the fear-driven type of marketing that's out there. And so where I'm sort of shifting my focus is by saying, no, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to do ethical marketing. We're no longer going to induce fear, because it's causing a really bad reaction to society in general, to where our anxiety is higher than it's ever been. Our depression is higher than it's ever been. And so much of that boils down to the way that people are being marketed to, what they're consuming. And it's affecting the entire public in a negative way. And so really, as I went in for the most recent revamp, I said, we're not doing that anymore. I want to create a team of people who are actually committed to providing useful services to people that's going to help contribute to our society growing, as opposed to bringing them down, which is what we've been doing. I'm no longer asking that first question and going into a marketing situation and saying, what are the pain points? Because in all honesty, I don't want to know what your pain points are. I want to know what your healing points are. And that's the first focus that we're doing when we're actually providing these services to other people. And stop creating pain. Let's focus on healing. Let's focus on doing better, and provide something to where people feel safe again, instead of always on edge and scared of everything that they're doing.
Yeah, and kind of on that note, that was something that Brandilyn and I had talked a lot about. You know, I have children right now who get influenced by marketing a ton, as we all know, people do, or the kids do especially. And when Brandilyn and I had talked about things and she told me about this vision that she had, I couldn't help but want to immediately be like, yes, this is something that she is awesome at and that I want to help bring forward, because I've seen personally, you know, a lot how it really affects people and can be in a really negative way. So we wanted specifically to work on making, I guess, the world a better place through ethical marketing, through doing the right thing, through bringing services to people that they actually need and want and are helping fulfill their life, instead of that, you know, I'm going to buy whatever this product is or use this product and my life's going to be changed, and it ends up not being helpful, so to speak.
Right.
Well, we all have done the quick fixes and, you know, take this pill, you're going to lose weight. We've done all that. And so what you're doing is you're kind of bringing compassion, and you're also finding out what the mission is for the business, right? You're looking more at what are their values, right? So you're, as you say, ethical. And honestly, when people think of advertising, that word doesn't really come to play that often. It's usually like, how can we sell them? How can we trick them to pull the trigger and do a 30-day, and hopefully they forget that they did a 30-day thing. I see that all the time. And now they have apps that you can clean your phone. But the whole point for you is you're looking for business partners that align with you, that you're not there to be transactional, right?
Yeah. But, you know, the thing about it is that the public is wising up. I mean, look at what just happened with that space launch. I mean, it was just, oh, we're going to do this. Oh, it's glamstronauts. Like, are you, what? What? What are you talking about? And everyone's like, no. What about the people who've actually spent the time studying and dedicated their entire life to wanting to be an astronaut? And now you're throwing Katy Perry into the mix and saying, we're just going to give her a heads on something, and we're going to ignore the people who've actually put the work into it. And right. I mean, look at the backlash that has happened because of it. So this vision is actually right at the right time. We're in the beginning stages where all of this stuff is shifting, and people are tired. They're fed up with the inauthenticity. They're tired of all of the fake. They're tired of having this stuff thrown in our face and us just having to accept it. and wasting our money on something that doesn't actually work for them. And
well, I understand that, because I have a daughter that's 24 and I have a daughter that's 18. And my 24-year-old is more social media, what is popular, what's going on, and just in tune. And my 18-year-old she's like, that is BS, mom. Don't listen to that, mom. Did you research that, mom? So she's not there for the hype. And I think that that's exactly what you're talking about. Even in the political structure, I always say I don't talk about politics, but I feel like the eyes are opening up, and people are having a reality of what's going on there, and they're doing a little bit more research. It's just not follow the leader like it was when I was growing up. It was follow the leader, follow the big leaders and you will do fine.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. I mean, on that same thread, Penny, with my older kids, they're in high school. Just recently, one of my children actually was accused of using AI to write. It was actually for an ad for a class, her English class. And she was told that it was too good, that she used AI, and she got a 0. And she was really upset. She came to me and she was like, I'm really sick of people not being authentic and not doing their own work. And then when I do amazing work, I get told that I had to have used a computer because I'm not creative enough. Or I think they said someone your age wouldn't be able to do something like that. Yeah. And so, like you were saying, the younger generation is valuing more being creative, using their talents, not taking those shortcuts or, falling for things that are just thrown at them, because they're wising up. They're understanding that they need to be, I guess, more cautious, so to speak, of what things are just thrown at them, because they grew up in that generation of seeing that sometimes the internet isn't always true. They're not falling for everything on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. So, I kind of think of it's not the Mad Men model isn't working anymore. Does that make sense?
Oh, the Mad Men. I love that show. That guy was so cute.
Well, it's not just men sitting around a table being like, you know what? Smoking isn't that bad for you. Doctors love to smoke. That's not what it is anymore. We want it to be the women sitting around the table saying, what do we actually need? What do we actually want? We're not going to put it into a bot to create, something for us that we can just toss out there. We want to make sure that people who are wanting the right things, that need things, that want to put goodness out there, is something that we are promoting in the way that we can get that message across.
Well, and with that too, though, is there is a tough line to break through, because people have become so cynical after all, it's been 40 years of lies being told to them. And when the truth is in front of them, they're still going, oh, that's not the truth. And trying to get to a point where it's like, no, look, we're being honest. We may not be right every time. We're not, we're still learning. We're still growing. We're always, our minds are open to anything that may be new, but we spend the time to actually research things, to look into things, to see what's real, see what's happening, and use that as sort of our trajectory and how we're putting things out there, as opposed to just like, oh, let's just throw this at the wall and hope that it sticks.
Right. No, I think that that's so important. I think that we need to be responsible for things that we watch. For me, I limit my social media. I do 30 minutes and then I'm out for the day. And usually I do it without the volume on a lot of times until I feel like that's something I want to look at and listen to, because there's so much out there that it's overwhelming. You don't know, like you said, what's true, what's not true. And so for me, on the publisher side, I meet my businesses in person. So I can get that feel. And like, there are people that I'm like, thanks, but no thanks. Me and you do not align. And that's what I love about you ladies. I can tell already that we know that we're not transactional. We want to have, the right space, the right people, the right marketing. And like you said, you be honest with what you're doing. You make it spicy, you make it fun, of course, because we still want to be entertained, but you need to be ethical and not just be putting out lies in the media.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. I mean, and I hear it from people all the time. You know, one of my neighbors, he's an older gentleman. Love him.
He's delightful. He really is.
And he's suddenly discovering YouTube, and he's just so excited about it. And he says, you know, this is about a couple weeks ago. He says to me, you know, I saw this thing, and on the outside it said that it was about this, but then I clicked on it and it didn't even talk about what was on there. And I said, yeah, that's called clickbait. And he's like, that should be illegal.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, clickbait, because that's why I don't even listen to the audio, because I was finding that I wasn't a good fisherman or whatever. They were capturing me. I'm not a good fish, I guess. So.
Well, and I think too is that people are, it's an insult. Like, we're not that stupid. You know, why do you keep putting things out there thinking that we're dumb and we're just going to be like, okay, I'll just go do that. When that's not the way it works. You know, people are thinking about stuff. I mean, this older gentleman who's discovered YouTube and super excited about it, he didn't know the term clickbait, but he knew as soon as he saw it that was something that should be illegal.
Yes. And, you know, also during social media, you'll see ads. You think that they're local and they're from a foreign country when you click on it. And there's a lot of people getting scammed on their email because it says put your information in there. They're phishing, just like you said, clickbait phishing and everything like that. So we need to be aware. I think for people like, you know, like my age and older, 40 plus, I think we're there. We're fishing there, and you know, a lot of us are getting caught. And so I really am excited to talk about your digital marketing, because you are doing a little bit different with Metro Design. So why don't you tell us a couple things that make you both different working as a team? Well,
I mean, for one, we're doing ethical branding. We do the research before we take someone on. There are specific types of people that we are avoiding, and it kind of depends upon what their intentions are. And if their intentions are not aligned, if it's just like, oh, I want to try to get as much money, it's a hustle. We're like, no, you're knocking on the wrong door. Go find somebody else. But we're also trying to offer, you know, I'm building different partnerships with different types of people that I know are also honest. And so and people are they're working individually. They're not working like directly under Metro Designs, but they're directing with us. And this is where our network comes into place, to where we're building that network to be able to have all the different types of marketing that are out there, which, believe it or not, marketing isn't just marketing. Right? There's digital marketing, influencer marketing, UGC creation. There's brand marketing. It's just
swag.
Yes,
that's my favorite.
Promotional marketing.
What did you say? Swag?
Swag. I love all of the little things that it just blows my mind how people can remember a brand so well. And it's not just like stress balls or and pens. It's like pickleball rackets and iPhone chargers and really cool hats, you know, things like that really makes people remember your brand. And it's something that, you know, they're not going to just go to a job fair or whatever and grab the free pen. It's really cool things they can put together. I mean, even the idea that you can design your own box to send your things in, or you know, send your marketing supplies out, or, you know, whatever you want, a Christmas gift to your clients. Just having those extra touches puts you ahead of the rest. And I don't think people realize that it's a multifaceted approach. It doesn't have to just be someone to help you with social media or someone to help you with, you know, your website or whatever. There's multiple ways to get it out there that make a really big impact, especially when they're put together by someone that knows what they're doing, that has done this for years and understands, you know, really how consumers get their interest piqued and will stick with it and want to learn more and get that curiosity going behind, you know, having your name out there in a really positive way. I think people sometimes really underestimate the impact you can make when you show that you're an ethical person, when you show that your brand is wanting to do the right thing, you show that you're able to make an impact without having some sort of horrific shock value behind your name.
Well, I do know, and I have seen some of Brandilyn's designs, and maybe it was both of you on the box. What did you call the box?
The swag boxes,
The swag boxes. And I have my 2nd year anniversary, and me and Brandilyn have talked about it. And, you know, I can tell that she puts a lot of stuff. I'm like, well, just put something together for me. And she's like, well, what do you want? You know, what is the whole point? And so a lot of times people would just say, okay, I'll do it. You know, what's your budget? And that's the end. So I know I'm knowing Brandilyn for, you know, over 2 years now. She is going to ask you many questions that are going to give you homework. But the whole point is she is wanting to build your brand and make sure that everything aligns, because a lot of times we just throw things together. We see something and we're like, oh, just give me a stress ball. Oh, I'm working a golf tournament. Just give me golf ball, you know, whatever. And we're not really thinking about our brand, you know, our mission statement. What are we, you know, saying out to the public? So I think that is amazing. I believe in swag. I hand out people, if somebody gives me a pen or a notebook and somebody's like, oh, that's really nice, I give it to them. I'm like, well, is this something that you are interested in? Here's the pen for Joe Caldera, financial planner. Here is my best clean, the sponge or whatever he gave me, you know. So I do give out the pieces. A lot of times I have a lot of stuff in my purse. And then if they are interested in that business, I hand it to them, and I'm like, they're like, wait, this is yours. And I'm like, no, the whole point is if it gravitates to you, take it. And I love the pickleball idea. I saw an event that was going on this weekend, and I'm like, I'm just going for the pickleball paddle. Every time I would use that pickleball paddle, I would think about that person, you know, and say, wow, what a great gift. What are they all about? I probably would do a little bit of research and, you know, see how they came up with that idea, right? Because it wasn't a pickleball event, but pickleball is very popular, I guess, right?
Well, and that's the other thing too, is not just jumping on trends, making sure your trends, like, this is something I said the other day talking with someone, like, of course, yes, you have to look into trends. You have to know the trends. You have to do things in order to kind of stay relevant and be a part of it. But do you really want to spend your entire life or your entire business being a trend follower, or do you want to be a trendsetter? And if you want to be a trendsetter, which is that's what I'm doing, is you have to step out and take some risks. You have to put yourself out there doing some things that other people aren't doing and hoping that it catches. And sometimes it will fail. Big deal. Dust off. Do another one. Keep going.
I like that. I always talk about, a lot of people talk about the disruptor in the industry. And I always thought that was a negative term, but now I kind of like it, because when I see him, I'm like, you're the disruptor in the financial industry. And so he's kind of given me like a tagline or something. So when I see him and I introduce that person, they kind of remember, you know, that he's unique. He's just not a financial planner, or they're not the plumber, you know. And that's kind of what I do with my publication. I try to make them the expert for the neighborhood, right? And that's what you're trying to do. You're showing them that they are the expert in their industry and they have value added to their products or services, correct?
Well, yeah, but and also too, it's like we shouldn't always be adversaries. You know, we shouldn't be in this place where it's like, well, I'm doing marketing and you're doing publishing and now I'm competing against you. Why? Right. Like, why don't we work together? If I work with you, and that's another reason why I'm, you know, our selection, when we work with someone, we want them to be ethical and aligned with our values as well, because we're not just going to market for you, but when, and this happens to me all the time, hey, Brandy, I need something for, I need to know where to get some good vitamins. Like I need to get, because people know I've been working in marketing for 25 years, and they know that I have all these different connections with different people, and I'm going to hand that information off to people. I get phone calls about all types of things that aren't marketing related. I mean, I've got a really great guy who in town he's got 5 stars on Google. He is a great AC. He fixes ACs and heaters, and he is the nicest person on the planet. And for people to have 100% 5 stars, not one bad review on Google, is a huge feat. That tells you how good of a guy he is. So somebody has a problem with their heater or air conditioning, and I'm like, I got a guy, I know a guy, but I'm also marketing to him, and I'm not expecting some kind of kickback from him for referring him off, because referral services is just about like helping you out. And like, if you're a good person, I'm going to tell people about you.
Well, yes, that's why I do a lot of business mixers, and a lot of times you go to these mixers and you're meeting people, but a lot of times you hang out with the wrong people or the same crowd, and so a lot of business mixers are, instead of networking, it's not working. It's just one valve that's been switched around. But yes, we need to all be referral partners is what I talk about, because no matter how big Las Vegas grows, and I know me and you have been here for a long time in Las Vegas, it's still a small town mentality. So your reputation is very valuable in this city. And I'm assuming in a lot of cities, but I feel like Las Vegas is definitely, you never know where that person's going to pop up in a different industry.
Well, I mean, that's so funny you say that, because remember, Penny, when I am interviewed with you, and then it was like a couple days later, I'm going, how the heck do I know this chick? Like, I've seen her before. And then it hit me, I've been in her house, because and it had been years prior to that me and the guy I was dating at the time came to possibly rent your place. And then I called you and I'm like, did you have a daughter that was in pageants? And you're like, what are you talking about? What kind of stalker are you? I
don't think I thought you were a stalker. I definitely did never get that vibe from you, I promise.
That happens all the time. That just happened a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Back before my kids and everything. I did a lot of charity events and parties as a princess. And we were just—
You look like a princess. I see that. Oh my gosh.
Well, we were at an event actually, talking about Metro and everything. And one of the business owners came up to me and she was like, just looking at me like this. And I was like, hello. Yes. Nice to meet you. And she goes, you're a princess. And I was like, what? Apparently I had done her daughter's party or something like 15 years ago or something. And she was like, I remember your eyes. Oh my gosh. She gave me this big hug. We had a nice conversation, but that has happened to me so many times. Yeah. I've had people approach me in the grocery store. Actually, another business, while I was interviewing, the interviewee or interviewer literally stopped me and was like, I think I know you from an event. You were a princess. And so, like you were saying, things really follow you and you want. I'm glad that so far it has been positive, because you never know when that negative review could come and hit you up, and I've been here 20 years and that stuff is still coming back in very positive ways. So I like the idea of being able to work with people where we can continue to share those positive reviews, share each other's businesses, and not say what's in it for me to share your name or to help you with your business, just to be able to promote each other when we know someone's going to take care of our friends or our business partners or whatever. That's what we really want to aim for.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be about like, what am I going to get out of this if I tell someone about you? Because the reality is like, whatever you're putting out is what's coming back to you. Yeah. And if you're putting out negative stuff, you're complaining all the time, you're saying nasty things about people, then that's what's going to come to you. If you're having, if you're giving out good referrals, or you're saying nice things about people, you're canceling out like the complaints and saying, oh, but what about this? They got this good quality, this and that. then that's what comes to you. And people remember that, whether or not you want it. I mean, do you want to be that person that people walk away going, oh my gosh, I need a nap after being around her? Or do you want to be that person that feels energized? Like somebody walks away going, oh my gosh, I feel motivated. I feel energized. I can't wait to do something. And for me, I don't want anyone taking naps after they see me.
Well, I totally get it, because I tell people, like, I realize that I get my energy from other people and other people's vibes. So I've been to places that people are like, you didn't even talk. And I'm like, yeah, I was ready to run out of there, but I had to stay, right? So people's energies, you can feel what they're thinking, what their vibe is. And like I said, I have learned, I'm almost going to be 60 sooner than later, that when people are transactional, you have to walk away no matter what the transaction is. And then as long as you show them value, they'll come back. Maybe it's not tomorrow. Maybe that no is just for a month, a year, or maybe they switched industries and then it works for them. So I know that you ladies are working well as a team. You can see that, you're kind of a yin and a yang. And now I kind of understand how Brandilyn can handle me, because I know that she wants to pull her hair out most of the time when I ask her for stuff. And it's been a real pleasure meeting you and talking about getting out in the community. Brandilyn, I know that we met with Deirdre, one of my Summerlin neighbors, and we're going to do a book signing event. Why don't you go ahead and talk about the event we're going to do on April, I'm looking at my paper, 26.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be me and Deirdre. I'm so honored to be with her. She's such a cool lady. And I mean, I wrote journals, and I keep saying, like, she wrote a real book. I have journals, but they both have their place in the world, where, mine is helping people guide to live healthier lives, mentally healthier lives, where she's actually telling her story that's also guiding people to live mentally healthier lives too. So where what I've created is more of a workbook, a hands-on, like, interactive experience, where hers is a story that's so relatable to a lot of people. And she's a great human. The times I've been able to talk to her, she's so cool. But we're going to be at Buffy's Book Boutique on Durango. It's Durango and DI.
Right.
26, 2 p.m. So
the great thing is, it's funny, but Brandilyn, your journals are prompt journals, and my children always tell me, Mom, you need to write stuff down. You need to have a more organized train of thought so you can see what mistakes you're making over and over again. What have you learned for the day? So don't sell yourself short. I am so proud of you. You have 12 journals in different aspects of people's lives. It is a great story. And like you said, when you started this thing, when I asked you, would you want to participate? You talked about resilience, right? Yeah. Both of you are resilient. And yes, Deirdre is an amazing woman, but remember, she started this when she was 58 years old. She had that aha moment and wanted to make something of herself besides being the mom of incredible children. I think a lot of women, we do that. We are just the mom, and now knowing that you have children, you'll get it. Like now that I'm an empty nester per se, I'm like, what do I have to offer the world if I'm not helping my children, right? So both of you have an amazing story for everyone. I feel like, Brandilyn, your story your journals can fit all ages. The middle school kid, which I hated middle school and I loved school. It's such a terrible time for kids. That's when you realize, are you going to be in this group or this group. And a lot of times you lose a lot of your good friends. And so the journals are so important. And the story of your first journal, which people have to come to this book event because you're an incredible storyteller.
Maybe I'll bring my journal with me.
You should. Absolutely.
It's great. She sent me some.
Right here.
And, oh my gosh. And you know what? I'm going to tell you that that's probably what I would like to do in my little box. I'm going to come up with the journal for you, something that I can do for my businesses, because a lot of times they say, I'm doing a great job. And then they go back and they see they have the same mistakes. So maybe we can come up with something for business minding, like are you really moving forward, or are you stagnant, or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's about retraining your brain. I mean, our brains have been mistreated by society
and by ourselves. Your brain is a liar.
And so you have to, and that's what the journals are. The prompts are to help you start to look at things in a different way. They're very intentional.
And I just jump in and say they're also very aesthetic. I bought some of her journals before I knew her very well, just because I thought they were so gorgeous. I bought
beautiful.
And then I've used a couple. I gave one to they're amazing. Sorry, I just had to throw that in. 'Cause they're not, I mean, her graphic design comes in, they're gorgeous. Sorry, go ahead.
But, after I talked to Deirdre, what I thought was cool, and I think I was like kind of stepped out of the imposter syndrome that I was feeling about this, because I'm like, oh my gosh, now I get it. Like, my journals are actually created so that people can get towards that mindset. It's almost like my journals are the first step and her book is the second step. So it's like my journals help to lead to that mindset, where her books help to motivate you. And so the two of us together are actually a really good team that I didn't know was even going to be there. So I'm really excited about it.
I'm super excited. That's why when I met her, I wanted you guys to connect. I feel like this is going to be fantastic. I feel like you've got a lot of other opportunities coming your way, Brandilyn. You and Kirsten are incredible. You're a dynamic team. I am proud to be the old lady that's joining the group. Get it out to Las Vegas. So go ahead and do a shout out. But of course, everybody knows me. I'm Penny Tyndall. I meet on the first and third Wednesday of this podcast called The Professionals, where I meet like-minded businesses and nonprofits, and we just chit chat. So go ahead, Brandilyn and Kirsten. If there's anything else you'd like to throw out to the public, please do it at this time.
Well, so we're metro-designs.com, and we actually are going to be starting a podcast soon, and that's going to be called Urban Spirit, where we talk about different life things and really explore some of the challenges that people face and healing and all of that kind of good stuff. But we are going to do it in a funny way because we both have really good senses of humor. Even if other people aren't laughing at us, we're laughing together.
And that's all that matters,
frankly.
No, it's gonna be topics that spirituality, experiences, things that happen to people on the daily that we need a space to kind of talk through it, and we feel like it would be beneficial for people to hear and learn from that and see that there's a space that we can have those conversations.
And some supernatural things.
Okay, that's going to be a very interesting topic.
Yeah, our experiences with Dateline. Individually, we both have Dateline stories. It's pretty fun,
Okay, that's going to be exciting and dynamic, and you guys are a great trio. I want to thank you so much for coming on, and I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll see you soon. Nintendo.
Thanks,
Thank
Penny.
you.
Bye-bye.
PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.